Top 10 countries with the most attractive military women. Have you ever heard of the most attractive women in the military in different countries of the world? Women in the armies of different countries have a set of experiences, most of which have been acquired over the past 400 years. All of these experiences have been gained through their service in the military, in communities. Female soldiers play a role in many parts of the army. Despite the fact that most of the soldiers in every culture were men, from the old women fighters to the women who are currently serving, we can point to the effective presence of women in the army. In this video log, we will introduce the top 10 countries with the most attractive military women on the planet. U.S. Women Military. American female soldiers are ranked 10th in the list of the most attractive female soldiers on the planet. American women have always strived to be the best in the military. However, in the past, they used to cover themselves with camouflage to serve side by side with men. As of around 2021, women will make up 16% of the U.S. military. More than 165,000 female soldiers are in the offices equipped and ready to serve. And more than 35,000 support forces are officially present. Czech Army, female members. Czechoslovak military instructions did not allow women to serve in the army for a long time. But it was not until World War II that women were allowed to enroll in military aid. Czech women fought with unparalleled superiority as clinical workers, telephone executives, and aircraft firearms groups during World War II. They were part of the British Women's Support Air Force in the Czechoslovak unit of the Soviet Union. They also served in the British Army in the Middle East. Currently, these women have become an essential part of the Czech armed forces, and their presence in areas such as the Czech Air Force is very important. The Polish military women. The Polish Women's Armed Forces ranked the 8th most attractive military woman in the world. There are currently about 2,500 women in the Polish army. And they all have the same privileges as men to join and serve in the Polish Army, Navy, Air Force, and Special Forces. British Army's female personnel. British women are ranked 7th among the most attractive female soldiers in the world. They joined the British Armed Forces in the mid-1990s. However, they are essentially barred from fighting units in the army. Pakistan Army. Pakistani female military members are ranked 6th among the most attractive female soldiers. Pakistan is the main Islamic country where women perform their tactical duties in military and combat activities. Pakistani women have served in the Pakistani Army since 1947 after the establishment of Pakistan. Currently, a significant number of women are serving in the Pakistan Armed Forces. In 2006, the first group of female military pilots joined the PAF warfare mission. Since then, women in the Pakistan Army have been trained on combat missions, especially in more specialized units. These include expert riflewomen, airborne battles, and infantry. The Pakistan Navy is currently the main branch of the Pakistani military, and women are barred from serving and participating in its war missions. Israel Army. Israel is the main country that employs many women in the army, and even sends some of them to manage infantry warfare missions and to guide the battle line. All Israelis have public assistance when they turn 18. This means that the country's army is full of female volunteers to serve in the military. As current figures show, more than 31% of Israeli army officers are women. Greek Army. The list of the most attractive military women on the planet also includes attractive fighters from the Greek armed forces. Greece is already providing the necessary military assistance to the male armed forces, under which all men over the age of 18 serve in the army for a long time. However, women may serve in the Greek army on a special case. But they, like men, are not expected to be drafted into the list for the battlefield. The Australian Army, military women. The Australian Army has the third most attractive female soldiers in the world. Women have served in the Australian Army since 1899. Until World War II, they could only serve in the Australian Army's medical units. When the Royal Australian Navy, the Royal Army and the Royal Air Force formed branches of women in the military, they took on auxiliary jobs. This occupation continued for Australian military women for years 1941 to 1942. But women in the country entered the military management roles in the late 1970s and mid-1980s. They can now serve in many positions and divisions in the Australian Defence Force, including battlefield and wars. Russian Army. Aesthetic researchers have always identified Russian women as the most extraordinary women in the world, in terms of physical attractiveness by aesthetic standards. These women are thin, shapely, tall and with attractive faces that make everyone fall in love with them. Therefore, it is impossible for the name of the army women of this country not to be included on top of the lists for the most attractive military women on the planet. Russian women soldiers have performed various duties in the army throughout the country's history, with the exception of the Great Patriotic War. The Romanian army tops the list of the most attractive military women on the planet. The Eastern European country tops the list of the most attractive female armies. If you want to see the most dazzling and attractive women in the army, you have to look at the Romanian army. However, the capacity of the Romanian armed forces has no choice but to show off its military capabilities against the world's top powers. However, the most attractive women in the world serve in the army of this country.